My name is Sam, and I run a small restaurant on a street corner. One day, a brother and a sister walked into my place completely soaked from the rain. The older sister looked about 10, and the little boy looked about 7. Clutching a few crumpled dollars in her hand, the girl quietly asked me how much one plate of chicken fried rice cost. The moment I saw their wet clothes, my heart sank. When the food was served, the sister immediately pushed the plate towards her little brother and said she wasn't hungry and that he should eat. He believed her and lowered his head, eating as fast as he could, but I could hear her stomach growling, and she kept pretending she was fine. I couldn't bear to watch any longer, so I went back into the kitchen and brought out another big plate of chicken fried rice with a fried egg on top. I told them that we had made too much staff meals that day and it would be a shame to throw it away, so they would be helping me by eating some of it. Their eyes lit up instantly, and they thanked me over and over again. Later I found out they had no parents and were living together in a round-down little apartment nearby. From that day on, whenever they passed by my restaurant, I always found an excuse to keep them there. Sometimes I said we had made too much rice. Sometimes I said we had cooked too much soup. The kids felt bad about eating for free, so they started wiping tables and lining up chairs for me. I didn't want them to feel pressured, so I smiled and told them it wasn't work, just a small favor for me, and that I was treating them to a meal. During those years, I made them a hot plate of chicken fried rice every single day, filled with dice, chicken, carrots, corn, and rich, savory sauce. I wouldn't dare say I changed their lives. I only hoped they wouldn't have to go home hungry. As time went by, their grades kept getting better and better. But one day they told me they were moving far to another state to live with relatives. On the day they left, we held each other and cried for a long time. More than 10 years passed, and I was still holding on to that little restaurant, but in the end, my body could no longer take it. Years of overwork left me seriously ill, and my hospital bills kept piling up. In the end, I had no choice but to decide to hand over the restaurant that had been with me for most of my life. On the final day before closing, the door suddenly opened. A young man and a young woman in neat, formal clothes walked in. I recognized them at once. It was the brother and sister from all those years ago. The sister had become a doctor, and the brother had become a lawyer. With tears in their eyes, they said to me, "Uncle, we came too late." Later, they paid off all my hospital bills, helped me keep the restaurant, and even hired a chef and staff so I wouldn't have to struggle alone anymore. On the day the restaurant reopened, the lights came on again, and the familiar smell of fried rice filled the air from the pan. What I had given them back then was nothing more than a simple plate of chicken fried rice and a bowl of hot soup. But more than 10 years later, they gave me back all the hopes and miracles I thought I had lost in life. Looking at my restaurant glowing again, I cried the happiest tears of my life. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.